Hello. There are so many plants around. How to know them? So how to know each species of this 1/3 of a million species of plant, even if we don't count like cultivated varieties and everything else. So multiple systems are developed. For example, if you open some local manuals, many of them are split in the parts in accordance to the flower color. So this is helpful, but sometimes misleading. For example, what if you do not have flower? Or what if flower of different color exists on the same plant? This is quite possible. Or actually many people have different relation with colors. Some people do not recognize colors well. Some people don't see particular colors. So colors are not perfect. Well, on the other end is a way like maybe to ask somebody about the plant, or maybe, well, kind of a bit fantastic for today, but actually in the future, why not, to sequence DNA of the plant, and while asking, for example, gene bank, you will know the name of the plant. But that other end is a bit dangerous because probably you will receive the name, but you don't learn anything about the plant. So it's like a driving with a navigation system. You can, well, find a way where you want to appear, but you will not learn the landscape. You do not understand the place we're driving to. So there's a way in between, kind of, well, set of questions, of principal questions which you can ask and kind of pinpoint the plant, at least the group of the plant. Only 5 questions and you will know much more about the plant. Look on this one, for example. This is a claiming vine from a legume family, Pueraria or Cuso, and I will use it as an example of these 5 questions. So questions. Question number 1. Are flowers showy? Do they develop a showy part of the perianth, corolla, or the whole perianth, like for example in a tulip, is showy? In that case, answer is yes, and that first question is in a direct relation with pollinators. So pollinators are a bit like us. At least they have eyes, like we have, and they will perceive the color and shape and everything of the flower, well, similarly. So we can actually guess that pollinator will see something like us, and then we can answer that first question, is it showy or not? And that will separate many plants with non-showy flowers, which are very likely use wind or water or just a gravitation or making a self-pollination. Second question, if you have a showy flower, then what about symmetry? Does the flower has a face-like appearance? Does it has bilateral symmetry, or like in a botany you would say zygomorphy? So zygomorphy is a thing which kind of inherited, I mean semiotically inherited from animal world, because pollinator is an animal and animals are normally bilaterally symmetric. So they actually, well, at least they provoke the plant to make something similar. And that thing will be easy recognized for animal pollinator and also easy to use. Because, for example, insects may sit on a leaf which goes down to the flower and orient themselves quite well within that bilateral flower. So does this flower has bilateral structure? I would say yes. It has an upper and a lower lip and left and right side. Good. Next question. Again, question about the showy perianth. Does it has any fusion between petals, between members of that showy part? Well, normally you don't need to look on the plant. You look down. And if you see flowers which fall away perfectly like a whole, if you see corolla which is still connected together, this is a sympetalous flower. Flower with a fused showy part of the perianth. In that case, flowers do not fall down yet, it just start to flower. But if you take flower and start to very carefully disentangle petals, you will soon see there is no fusion between petals. So they go apart easily. Okay, so question answered as no. So no fusion between petals. And now 2 more questions and that's it. So question number 4 is a question from Linnaeus' time. Linnaeus, as you know, counted stamens inside the flower, and this is very interesting that a character is extremely powerful for determination. I will use this only for one purpose, to count stamens. Are they like 12 or less, or more than 12? It's very interesting. So more than 12 is kind of big unstable number of stamens. Less than 12 or 12 is more or less stable number. So very well known to botanists from long time. Plus, I like you to count pistils, the central female part. Again, are they one like in many plants, or many pistils? So if you count them, if there are stamens more than 12 or pistil more than one, you answer yes on that question. In that case, like in actually almost all legumes, there's only one pistil in the center, and also only 10, not 12 even, stamens, of which one is free and 9 is connected. So this is interesting character of many, but not all legumes. Anyway, so no is the answer for the question number 4. And last question, question number 5, will be related with the position of the perianth and flower itself in general. Is flower below the perianth or above it? It's very well visible on fruit. Again, do not look on a flower, do not look down. Try to find a fruit, maybe fruit from last year. In that case, fruits of last year may still exist. But these are pods. And pods, as you probably remember, have perianth and pedicel on one side of the fruit. So pedicel is going outside of the flower, and flower is hypogynous. So hypogynous flower and superior ovary means that plant develops the flower above the flower base. While reverse situation is a situation, for example, of banana or apple. So apple, for example, if you remember how fruits look, has pedicel on one side and perianth on another side. So actual pistil is going down below the basement of the flower, and this is a different situation. So flower is epigynous and ovary is inferior. So remember how apple looks, and compare it, for example, with typical hypogynous with superior ovary, flower and fruit of tomatoes. So apples and tomatoes are beautiful example. Inferior ovary and superior ovary. And in that case, again, like in most legumes, situation is very clear from the start, especially if you see old fruits, you will see that ovary is superior and flower is hypogynous. So if you answer all these questions, you then be knowing your group very well. Not exactly, but at least you will kind of squeeze the diversity of plants from 1/3 of a million to just few thousand. Still lots of species to go through, but this is much better. And if you work in kind of, well, particular environment, this is, by the way, Japan, central Japan on August 25th, when Kuzo or Pueraria is started to flower, but it may be any. If you know the list of plants on the particular environment, then after answering these 5 questions, well, your way may be extremely easy. Even for the whole world, you can use these 5 questions and then go to the particular group with much more big easiness. So these are 5 questions to know the plant. Thank you very much.